Hi and welcome. I am Katja from Space Refinery and you are watching AOTC, the place for inspiration on workspace, people and culture. Rémy, thank you so much for sitting down with us today.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to get to talk about your workspace and how the process went and what you have learned and how it is to have your own space. So first I would love to start with learning a bit about AskQ. So who is AskQ? Maybe what's the founding story and why do you guys exist?
So we were founded by the partners of Quince. Quince is a Benelux law firm and it's really focused around offering capacity to legal teams. So a lot of legal teams challenged with gaps or bottlenecks and we really provide a service offering around that to support legal teams with those capacity questions. AskQ was started all the way in the beginning of 2021, so just to set the stage, we were sort of not even 1 year in Corona crisis, so everyone was working at home. And since we have quite ambitious goals of growing the team, we wanted to have our own office space. We were in this Corona phase and it was very clear to everyone that once we were coming out of Corona, things would have to change.
What was the approach? How did you figure out, like, okay, how do we get an office? What are the steps?
I took the lead on this project because for me having a great office space is so crucial. I mean, you spend a lot of your time in a day in the office. We didn't want to just work together with a traditional player. We really wanted someone that could also help us with the initial phase of planning the project. For us, the design element, not only design in terms of how does the furniture look like, but how does the office layout really have to look like, was very important. Space Refinery really showed up very much ahead of the curve.
For us, it's about finding out who is your team, what is your ambition. And so we've done these workshops and surveys. And I wonder, like, how was it for you? Was it something new and interesting and really like kind of fitting with you guys? What would you share about the collaborative process?
For us, that whole process was great, and I still very much remember the initial workshop we did. It was immediately clear sort of what the commonalities were between the desires of the whole team and what some of the challenges were. As you can imagine, we're legal professionals. A lot of people are used to working in an individual office, so quiet space. And I think you guys did a great job of tackling that and finding a perfect balance to meet both the desire to work together in an office and also to have some individual focus time.
If you could describe Space Refinery in few words, what would you say?
Extremely hands-on, playful and on a very human level, fun to work with, a lot of expertise when it comes to the design phase and really taking everything into account.
I wonder, what is your favorite area here?
I really like all of them. I like this space a lot because it's much more comfortable. You can sit in sofas. The kitchen is very nice. Space Refinery told us that much like a family and a family home, things really evolve around the kitchen. The general working space is great too. The meeting rooms are very nice. Every room serves its purpose and that's great.
How do you feel the office is reflecting your culture and a way of working?
It's extremely transparent. There's no fixed offices. A lot of it is open plan. Where we can, we worked with glass. If you look around in the office, it's very playful. Our pastel colors pop out everywhere. That really shows the culture, I think.
I wonder if you would remember some reactions, maybe as your team would be coming through the door and it's almost finished. Does something stand out that you still remember?
Everyone was extremely happy and overwhelmed and really excited.
What's the role of the office for you today? How are you using it? How does it reflect where we are?
For me, I think what an office is today has fundamentally changed. Now it's a place where people can meet, and I think that's the first and foremost objective of an office. It means that you have to have way more collaborative spaces than before. Now you really have to create an office that facilitates hybrid working so that people, when they're working remotely, can easily sort of dial in virtually in the office.
To wrap up, I just would love to hear if you have any tips for anyone who is thinking to invest in the workspace, maybe doesn't even know where to start, now that you have gone through the whole process?
Although it's impossible to organize these projects, especially in larger companies or organizations, as a democracy, that doesn't really work. You still have to take as much into account of the team, because it's also important later on, because if you involve people at the outset, they also become the strongest ambassadors once the office is done, and to promote a new way of working in the offices. So I think that's really key, and dare to sort of challenge the status quo and challenge the existing way of working, and remember that changing behaviors is very difficult. So as I said earlier in the conversation, we were very lucky because we started from scratch. I think in an existing organization it's much more challenging to change the way people work, so spending enough time around that is important, and as a result I think finding a partner that can help you with that is really a must. Renovating your offices is more than, you know, building walls and putting in furniture. It's really about people. So I think that's really key, to find a partner that understands that.
Amen. Absolutely agree. Thank you.